Welcome to Malcolm Reed's How to Barbecue Right, a podcast where we talk about barbecue, share recipes, and discuss all things delicious. And now, here's your host, Malcolm and Rochelle Reed.
Hey, welcome back to the How to Barbecue Right Podcast. I'm your host, Malcolm Reed, joined by my lovely and talented wife, Miss Southern Shell, on my side of the table this week.
Yep, switching things up.
That's right. Shell, you doing all right?
Doing great. It's been a crazy busy week, but yeah.
Yeah, they're always that way, man. I love it. We wouldn't have it any other way. If it wasn't crazy and busy, I'd be in trouble. We'd have more time to do multiple podcasts. So we got Mark Williams here with us today from Swine Life BBQ. Mark, how are you, man?
Another day in paradise.
That's right. We've had been rocking and rolling on the wholesale side of things.
Been busy, very busy.
Doing out the smoke videos, doing Swine Life videos.
Learning how to do TikTok.
Getting ready to do some contest cooking, right? Yeah. Doing TikToks.
Got a practice coming up.
I like that tater TikTok you did.
Yeah, tater was good.
Yep. Speaking of TikTok, we got TikTok Tyler on the board. Tyler, how's your week going, man?
Man, it's good. Y'all are keeping me busy.
Camp week wrapping up for you, right?
Unfortunately.
The wife and two kids were gone for majority of this week?
Yep. We had a great time. Great time.
It's always good when you get some camp week time.
That's right. Finish it out with
that just means no kids time. You can sleep as late as you want, stay up as late as you want.
Heck yeah.
Have some extra beers.
Too many beers some nights.
Shell, what do we got going on today on the podcast? Do you have an agenda?
Yeah, I always have an agenda. The first thing I wanted to talk about is the Palmer home. We are still raising. We're about halfway there for our goal, and we're about halfway through our fundraiser. We do have a leaderboard for you. You're always asking about a leaderboard. So we've got Matt Bailey, Keith Lowe, Greg Rimpey. They are all qualified and in the running.
Oh, right. Greg's coming. I told him. He's done a good job promoting. He's coming. He's going to be at least my plus one, probably.
So we've got 2 more spots.
Or do you know if either one of those guys are Greg's guy? Like it was a listener on his podcast that ponied up.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to go back and look. Yeah. I do have that somewhere in my emails, and I could get that, but yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well,
we
appreciate everybody that's helping us raise money for the Palmer home. It's going to a good cause, feeding the whole family for a year. And we still got some time. We're halfway, like Shell said, and we're going to keep on doing what we do. Actually, some of the proceeds this weekend coming up, Wiener Fest here in Hernando, 496 Whitfield Road.
You really enunciated that wiener just then.
Wiener. It's a hot dog fest. We're gonna have.
But Wiener Fest is funnier.
Do you want to? We've already told everybody what we're doing for Wiener Fest, right?
Yes, but we were a little worried the start of this week because we only had one entry in our hot dog eating contest, and it was Tyler. But over the
I was going to step in.
Yeah, over the past 12 hours or so, we've had 3 certified eaters.
We got some heavyweights coming in.
They didn't come in to see the shop. They're like, we're here to sign up.
They brought the applications and everything. This is my T-shirt size. Yeah, it's a barbecue extra large.
So Tyler's got some.
Tyler, you got your work cut out for you. These guys have said they have competed before in a contest. It was a watermelon eating contest in Texas.
I want to remind y'all that the winner of one of the Memphis and May rib eating contests was a Grizzlies cheerleader. So
yeah, we may have a surprise cheerleader pop in and just wipe y'all out. We need to get Mikey to give him a call. He's still got the contact number for the Grizz girls.
He sure does.
It's off season. They could put some dogs down.
So we have ordered 1,000 hot dogs.
We don't know. So we don't know. Yeah, we don't know how many it's going to take to fill up the BFO, but we are doing the.
Mark's in charge of that one.
Yeah. Do you have just a ballpark? I'm thinking we can get 600-700, right?
I'm not letting no info out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
it might take all 1,000. We may have to run to Kroger and wipe them out of hot dogs.
All I can say is this going to be the most hot dogs I've ever seen on one single grill.
Yeah,
that's what we want to achieve. I wonder, can we contact?
How many fit on the Ostermeyer Wienermobile? Do they have like a big grill on that thing, or do y'all know?
Probably not that big. It can't be that big. We got to contact Guinness.
That's what I was thinking.
The most hot dogs on the grill. Now, Johnsonville, have y'all ever seen the Johnsonville wagon? Yeah. They've got an 18-wheeler that's all grill.
Would you have to beat it next year?
Yeah.
Can we get like a double BF?
Maybe we'll do a Brat Fest. Sausage Fest.
Hot dog
Anything goes. If we do that, we can do Sausage Fest next year.
Maybe brat, summer sausage.
You do anything sausage.
We'll
Boudin.
involved.
Yeah. Heck yeah, I didn't think about that.
But we're doing how many dogs on the big outlaw
We're
contest.
going to go run that for 1 hour.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to get to kind of pass through. Mark's going to give them a quick glimpse. You write your name, your number, and your number of dogs you think's on it down, and then
I'm gonna try to get artistic
by
with
Monday,
the dog placement.
Yeah. To keep it.
It's not going to be symmetrical. They're all not going to be in a line.
You're not going to be able to calculate.
No.
You're not going to be able to take a picture. No pictures.
No double stacking though.
Yeah.
Y'all are so worried about someone cheating on this.
I would cheat. Like if I was like, oh, I got this.
We run a legitimate contest. If I put my name on it, it's going to be legitimate.
I just think the effort we're putting in to keep people from cheating.
This ain't no jelly bean contest where it's
You're
just
not
a jar.
guessing out of a mason jar.
Yeah. This is a real deal American hot dog guessing contest.
What do they win?
$100 gift card.
I was
to
about to say,
shop.
I didn't even know.
To the shop. Yeah. You get a $100 gift card to the shop.
This is a big deal then.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is like the most important thing come to Hernando all year.
But not only are we having a hot dog eating contest. Winner of that, if you still want to get in, we got some spots. I think we're going to cap it about 10.
Yeah.
But we're giving away a $100 gift card to the shop on that one. The parish, Chef Tim over at the parish, has donated $100 to the brand new seafood joint in town.
That's worth it.
And that is worth it alone because he is putting out, man, that redfish over there is so good. The oysters have been jam up, crawfish bread, you name it, the parish has it. It is delicious. Hottest restaurant in town.
My wife hadn't been cheering me on for this contest till we announced that gift.
Oh,
card.
really?
Oh, really?
So now it's a big deal to her.
So we're doing the hot dog eating contest. We're doing the wiener guessing contest on the grill, and we're trying to put together some footage for a TikTok video. And if anybody's seen TikTok, they've probably seen these where it'll be at some family's function or something. It's usually out back, and they're throwing hot dogs at people, and they're trying to catch them.
In their mouth.
We're going to do that.
Try to catch them in your mouth.
So we got the idea. We're going to get a kiddie
That's gonna be
pool,
hard.
just a regular old kiddie pool, the cheap plastic one, put a chair in it. Tyler's going to film it, and we're going to throw hot dogs at people, right? And you got to catch one.
If
What
you-
do you get if you catch a hot dog? If we
You
got
get a little prize pack. Yeah, it's like a HowToBBQRight bag with some stickers and
Swag bag?
A little
So
swag
what if you
bag.
get somebody up here that's like their team, like their partner's the tosser?
Oh my God.
No. We're going to be tossing them.
Tyler,
I mean,
has to be the
people's
tosser.
practice this, no doubt.
You think catching hot dogs?
To win a sticker?
You never know. You
So
never
is it
know.
going to be like we hadn't decided? Are we going to use cooked dogs or raw dogs for that?
I think it's raw dogs,
I think
man.
it's
Raw
raw
dogs.
dogs.
You can't raw dog it.
Raw dog.
You gotta cook them.
You want a cooked dog? Well,
Cooked and cooled.
I
dog.
I think it'd be more floppy cooked,
you think so?
and you want it to be kind of like woo, as it travels.
I thought it might break more because you've done. You think we need to practice? We need to go cook some dogs.
All right, I'll pitch them. We'll get you in the kiddie pool.
We'll just do a chair. The kiddie pool is just to try to keep the dogs from being all over the parking lots.
To me, it just gives it a designated area that this is
If
the winter
anybody
toss area.
has a dog that's great at catching stuff, I would like to get one clip of a dog actually catching a hot dog because I've seen those TikToks and it's always usually that's the only person that's only being that's able to catch one. It's very rare that you see somebody in those videos catch one. When they do, it's usually straight down the throat. And I can't imagine.
The next scene's what I want to see.
Yeah, do we have to do a release on this? And do we line up a paramedic to go?
Paramedic on site.
Because we might have we not one of them chokers. Have y'all seen them things? I'll get them on Facebook all the time. It's this new anti-choking device where you put it on somebody's mouth and it like you hit it or something and it sucks everything back out.
Oh, really?
It's supposed to be like
Life-saving?
life saving.
Surprised my wife doesn't have this for the kids yet.
Yeah, you haven't seen it?
It sounds like something like
Next time I see it pop up, I'll screenshot it and send it to you.
We're also going to have a sidewalk art contest for the kids.
Yeah.
Every kid wins.
We're encouraging them to draw something
Patriotic.
Yeah, or hot dogish. If you can draw a hot dog man holding the American flag, you probably
Don't
win.
get no better than
Don't
that.
get no better than that.
Every kid's going to win.
Yeah, American Eagle with some hot dogs in the talons. That might be a tattoo right there. Anybody has that too? Show up, you get a free T-shirt. We're doing
And tons of free dogs.
an apple cobbler
And apple cobbler.
because nothing's more American than hot dog and apple cobbler, right?
I could go with that.
And we're gonna have a Italian ice guy here. He's gonna be, I guess, selling Italian ice. Which, if you've never had Italian ice, it is awesome. I saw a TikTok of that earlier. Man, they were taking it, putting it in a cup, and then spiking it, like sticking a bottle of Crown Apple in it, and letting it fill up and melt that Italian ice. I said, "Ooh, might be a TikTok Saturday." It's just like the little airplane style bottle, you know.
So, Shell, have you got
good.
the designated mayonnaise eater area figured out yet?
I did buy like a industrial size box of mayonnaise packets because
So
they
you
don't
gotta-
have it in the pump. Like we have the giant, mustard in the pump, the giant ketchup.
We're not
Pumps
thinking
will
about
fit
us.
on I don't know if it'll fit on the extra thick, if you pump the extra thick through it, but it'd probably do.
You can
Those
get
like
a
2
jug,
gallon
can't you, from
jugs or
Sam's?
whatever. I'm sure
Yeah.
they have some kind of pump for that.
You bought some, didn't you?
Yeah, but they go on the mayonnaise and ketchup holders. They're,
Oh,
they're specially made.
It's not
for,
a round
yeah.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
If you've ever like gone to buy a hot dog at a fair or something, they typically have a little booth, with that stuff on it.
Nobody thinks of us mayonnaise folk.
No,
We're
we're used
stuck
to
with
it.
the packets.
Are you a mayonnaise on dog too?
Oh yeah, all day.
Yeah.
I had somebody comment on one of the
Mustard ketchup
videos
relish.
that said mayonnaise is not supposed to be on a cheeseburger. And I was like,
What? Now mayonnaise goes on a cheeseburger.
I was like, man, are you even, like, where are you from?
Yeah.
Yep.
You turn them on to put the mayonnaise in the meat.
Yeah, we're going to double dose.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that recipe. That was a good idea. You called it redneck Wagyu.
Mississippi Wagyu.
That's
Nice.
did you do mayonnaise on the mayonnaise in the meat, mayonnaise on the burger, mayonnaise on the bun that you toast? Have you ever done that? Like
Oh, yeah.
spread mayo on it instead of butter? Oh, it toasted up great.
I like the grilled cheese and mayonnaise. Use it as instead of butter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a little bit richer, you know?
Yeah.
Good mayonnaise like Blue Plate or Duke's tastes really good.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a conversation. We spent 5 minutes on the aisle in Kroger, like, do we get Dukes or do we get Blue Plate?
What'd you do?
Emily's like, I like Dukes because I do like a little bit more vinegary.
Yeah.
So we
you
want
went
Dukes.
Dukes?
We want Dukes.
It's all personal.
I'm gonna tell the Blue Plate folks on you.
Man, right now, the old mayonnaise or whatever that stuff is,
you like
it is hitting.
The
That is-
Mexican mayonnaise?
Yes. It's so
It's got
good.
the little lime.
It's very thick
Thick,
and creamy,
yeah.
and it's good.
I don't like it on a sandwich, man. Lime don't go on like a.
I don't taste the lime,
sandwich.
I don't either.
I do.
You do?
It's subtle, but I can taste it
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. This past weekend we hosted a comedy show.
We
Something
did.
we've never done before.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Meet Dave was his name. Dave
Yeah.
Williamson, comedian. You can check him out on YouTube. Is it Dave Williamson Comedy?
Yeah, I
Dave
think so.
Williamson Comedy.
Yeah. Meet Dave's, I think his YouTube.
And
And then he's-
Instagram is Dave W Comedy.
He's got the Meet Dave podcast.
He's pretty hilarious.
He
Yeah,
is.
He was.
We've got some of his seasoning. So how we ended up with this? Mark, you actually met him. Did he contact you?
So I met him through Bear Mountain Pellets.
Okay.
Back first part of the year, I guess it was right before Super Bowl. He was going to do like a live, like pregame to the Super Bowl, like actually filming recipes with a couple pit masters. And I was supposed to be on there, but we had something come up, so I wasn't able to make it. So we kept in contact, and then he reached out and said, "Hey, we're going to do this little comedy barbecue tour. Are you interested?" And that's when I was like, "Well, I'd love to do it." I was like, "But we got the perfect place." And so that's when I reached out to y'all, and it kind of grew from there. Like it turned out to be way more than I thought it would. Like
Yeah.
it was really, really good. So
So what Dave did, he went on a tour. He spun that whole off, and he like lives in L.A. He's got a little pull behind trailer. He had 2 camera people that was doing all the recording, and he went on the road. Well, he's been gone for a month and a half, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And just started hitting barbecue places. Most of them are restaurants, but he would go and he would do a show and hang out with the owners and kind of get to know them, and just building on his knowledge of barbecue, what he was gathering from those pit masters at the restaurants, and then talking. And he always did a Q&A at the end of his show. So his show, what was his show, about an hour? He had 60 minutes probably. He did.
I think it was more like 45, and then he tested out some new material.
Yeah, that was pretty
Expanded
cool
it,
there. Because most of those comedians are working on their bit,
Yeah.
to go that they're going to take back and go to LA and go to the comedy shows and do, some of them are
Turn
even
it
working
into a
for specials
special,
or
yeah.
whatever. But they work on new material if the audience is right. So did you notice like towards the end, he pulled out a piece of paper, and then I guess that's where he had his ideas wrote down, and he was looking at those and he was testing those jokes out. And man, it was great.
It was. So we did a invite only. We didn't sell tickets. We invited the people we wanted to invite and cooked a really nice barbecue dinner.
Oh yeah.
excellent.
So what did we cook?
Some $350 choice Sam's Club.
It was prime.
Ribeye.
It was prime.
Oh, it was prime. It was
prime
prime.
rib.
We cooked prime rib, yeah. Because that's all they had at Sam's
Yeah,
when you
that's
went,
all they
right?
had
I was
at
like,
Sam's.
gosh, Shell, you paid $350 for this piece of meat at Sam's?
It was so good though.
Did they have to did it have a little scanner, like one of those little barcodes on it where you can't get out the store with it or whatever.
Blows blue dye on you.
Yeah. If you run with it or whatever.
The girl at Sam's Club's like, "Do you know this costs $300?"
Yeah, that was crazy.
I said it's for something special.
So we cooked that. We fired up Miss Fancy that morning. You got there early, like what, about 8 or 9 o'clock?
Yeah, about 9 o'clock.
Fired her up, trimmed up that ribeye. The best thing about that was, so Mark cut the tail meat off, kind of shaped up that ribeye before I got here, and then I'd already kept some from another ribeye that we cut up, and we was gonna make some tallow with it.
I've never done it.
Yeah, so we got the idea. I was going to render it in a pan, just how I'd done at home in stovetop. I had it on a Ziploc bag, and we threw it all in a metal pan and put it up in the top shelf of Miss Fancy and let that fat render, and it started liquefying and getting some of that good flavor from the grill.
Did y'all season the fat?
No. It's just rendered.
Because I was like, man, it would be good if you add something, but I'm scared that, like, it was going to burn.
Yeah.
I have no idea how hot tallow gets to render, you know? I'm sure it's probably 300 plus.
Oh, man. It was meat butter. God, it was so good.
Liquefied meat
Yeah,
butter.
because, I mean, it took it a while. It started rendering and a little grease in there, but it ended up being, you poured up, after we used it,
was a quart
jar left in the fridge in there now. Pure white beef tallow, smoked beef tallow. That's something that nobody has.
And then what was crazy is, like, when we really started, like, getting chickens on and all that, we kind of, the pit was full. So I slid it out and we just set it on top of the firebox, and it sit over there and simmered for like 5 hours.
Kept rendering.
And I just kept stirring it, and we'd get a little bit out and baste that prime rib with it. And
that was the key.
It was
You
so
were
good.
basting the beef with it.
So we didn't know if it was going to be any good. So I was like, well, I'll check it. So we went and got like it was a roll that we had in there. I said, bring one of them rolls. Tore it into a little bite. Dipped it in that hot tallow sitting up on top of the firebox. And that's when I said, oh, my God, this right here, it ought to be against the law. Like, I want one of those little, the little butter warmer things they give you when you're eating crab legs. It's got the little votive candle under it. I want that when I eat steak, like beef tallow in that to dip everything in. My goodness.
And so, like,
it's instant, like, heart attack, probably.
and I think, too, what made that prime rib that much better was the cut station.
Yeah.
So, like, I was cutting it, so every time I'd cut it, I'd reach over and give me a spoonful of that tallow and put it on the board. So when I'd slice a slice off, it would just fall in that tallow. We'd thumb grind a little seasoning on top of it and, like, keep, on and on and on. And everybody come back was like, what did you do?
I want you to do what you did.
Yeah,
That's
do it
what
one more
was.
time.
Did you have anybody come back for second?
Yes.
Okay.
They were all our friends. They all come back for seconds.
So my problem was, I said, we got, it was over 30 people. We didn't really know how many people were going to show because we didn't really RSVP. We just said, hey, come on. And we had that one prime rib. I was like, well, we don't have enough beef. Because what if this is as good as it's looking like it's going to be? So I jumped off in the freezer here at work, and I had some, we didn't know what they were. It was
a
like
square piece of meat.
It was square piece, but it said A67 on it. So I knew it was Wagyu. And I said, well, I don't really know what it is. It don't have a bone in it. It looks like short ribs, but is it Denver steaks or was it? You couldn't tell how it was stacked in this frozen package, except for what it was. It was beef and it was Wagyu. But we thought it out, and it was boneless short ribs. What were they, about 2 inches by 3 inches, maybe?
Yeah, they were. It might have been a little longer. They were good size. I would say probably like 2 by 6.
Oh no, they were 6 inches long.
Yeah.
I'm talking about tall
Square,
and wide.
yeah. Well, they were before we started.
Yeah,
they shrunk up. So where
they didn't
where
shrink;
does
they blowed up.
Where does that cut come from? Where is that coming from? In between the bones on the beef rib?
It's on top of them, top of the
Okay.
plate ribs.
It's like up by the chuck, if I remember right.
Yeah, it comes off the chuck area. Yep, chuck plate ribs is what they were. So we seasoned them just like we did that prime rib. We hit them with some TX and then your new beef seasoning, and that's all. Do we put some of that chimney? We didn't put any of that on it, did we? That was it. We put them on the grill. After we had that tallow rendered, we put those things up on the microwave shelf too, and man, they blowed up.
So the microwave shelf, you would say, we were running at pit 300, 325. That microwave shelf was probably, what, 450? 400 at least?
Probably, yeah.
What's a microwave shelf? Y'all explain that one to me.
So on a lot of your stick burners, they have like an upper shelf on the exhaust end, and it's kind of like, I guess it used to be called like the scramble button. Like if you was ready to cook hot and fast, that's where you went. So we've checked it.
Because that's where the heat comes directly out of, I guess, and hits that one
Yeah.
area.
So the heat's at the top of that pit because that's a top-down pit. So all your heat's right there on a microwave shelf. So running 300 at your cooking grate, you're 400, 450 easily right there.
So a lot of people cooking chicken up there, setting their sauces up there, and these stick burner brisket guys start the brisket out on that shelf.
And it blows up. Like, it'll triple in thickness, looks like.
Yeah, I don't know why it does. I guess it's the fat content in it, the way the heat hits it, but it swells it. Like, it'll take a thin brisket. Like, you got a brisket that looks like it's only about 1.5 inches thick. By the time you put it up there and let it blow up, and it might narrow up some, but it stands up tall.
But it worked. We cooked those short ribs. They were in the freezer at 12, and they were done at 5.
Yeah, 5.
And they didn't go on the pit till about 2.
Quick thawed in water.
In water?
Yeah, in the sink. Seasoned, put them on, put smoke on them till they swole up, wrapped them all up in the same pan. That was probably a mistake.
Yeah.
Because we covered that pan in full and
it filled all the way up. That whole half pan rendered to where, like, they were literally floating. I never would have thought that much grease would have come from those 4 pieces of meat.
Oh, yeah, it didn't look like it. No, it was a full pan.
Yeah, but a Boston butt don't render that much.
No.
Did you save that juice at all?
No, I didn't. I didn't know really how much had cooked out, if it had too much smoke on it or,
seasoning and everything, yeah.
And it was froze, so.
They weren't frozen when we put them on. They were completely thawed.
No, but.
It was beautiful meat, and I don't know.
And all I done is.
Can you imagine those fresh? How good they would be, too?
Because I forgot about them, because they were on the top shelf. They stayed on the microwave shelf the whole time. So these cooked at 400 degrees plus for how many ever hours? 2 or 3 hours. And I walked
as fast as it gets.
Yes. Yeah. I was like, I'm going to go see where they're at. And I probed one of them. It was like 215, 218. I'm like, they're done.
Like butter, too, though.
But they held up. We pulled them out. Let them chill for a minute. I dipped them in some, like, back in the au jus, sprinkled a little bit of rub on them just to kind of color them back up, put them back on the shelf. Got a good crust on the outside, and they were excellent.
So Mark sliced those while he's slicing the prime rib, and you got a piece of that Wagyu, and you got a piece of prime rib. Ran both of them through the
Made them all
tallow.
make.
Yeah. And resprinkled them with your beef rub. That was that new beef rub, what are y'all calling it?
Prime beef.
Prime beef. Wait till everybody gets to try
really
that.
Good. It's got that good umami.
Heck yeah.
And that's what I think you posted a TikTok. Tyler posted a TikTok of us slicing. They're like, that's not near about enough seasonal outside. I'm like, but we're like, you're not going to get that much flavor in the center of a prime rib. So that's one thing I like a finishing rub for, especially if you have a jus sitting there or that beef tallow to really dissolve that rub, and it just adds that much more flavor.
Oh yeah, I made an au jus to go with it too. That was
and we had our
that was a good au jus.
Had our horseradish cream sauce that went with it as well.
I never would have thought about putting horseradish cream sauce on that short rib, but it was so good.
So good. That was some of the best bites.
Y'all also did some whole smoked chickens.
Mm-hmm. We made pulled chicken with Alabama. So our menu was a tasting of Wagyu short rib. We had smoked prime rib, pulled smoked chicken that we used Meat Dave seasoning on, and served with the
Hawaiian rolls and pickled red onions
and a Mississippi white barbecue sauce.
Yeah,
and pickled red onion. And what we did, mushrooms, like roasted mushrooms and butter and a little Worcestershire. Did you put any wine in those?
No.
And then we did.
It wasn't Worcestershire.
Okay.
It was butter. Ranch and butter.
Ooh. I didn't make it.
It's like a crock pot mushroom recipe.
We did.
It was
caprese salad with little heirloom tomatoes and mozzarella balls and
basil, fresh basil from Mark's garden.
Oh yeah, that was good. And the cheesecake was it City Hall cheesecakes. We
did our roasted potatoes.
And roasted potatoes. That was a heck of a dinner.
We did a big sausage and cheese board for everybody with country plays and salsa. We also had planned to do a pork belly, but
that went south on us. I had it
real quick.
So the last time I did a pork belly recipe, which was way back, probably 1.5 years ago.
It was before quarantine, I think.
Yeah. Was it before quarantine?
I think so.
Man, if it was, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
I had another pork belly in the freezer, and I was like, we'll do that, and we'll add it to our charcuterie board. We'll have some pork belly burn ends to go with it. So we thawed it out, let it slow thaw in the refrigerator. Everything was, we opened it up, cut it up. Everything was fine. Didn't look, nothing was wrong with it. We cooked it. And Mark's like, what's that? It smells kind of funny. It's got that porky, like, strong. Not like a ruined, like a strong pork.
It smelled like the pork, like up against a bone,
My mom would say that smells like a hog that ain't been worked on properly. Like old boar hog. That's what a boar hog tastes like. But, Yeah, so we tasted it and we was like, we can't serve this. It's freezer burnt. It's what it was. It just gave it a strong pork flavor that was not good.
That's the thing about like freezer burnt, like it attacks the fat first.
Yeah.
And that's all a pork belly is.
Yeah.
And like soon as we cut it, I was like,
I tasted it. I mean, it wasn't spoiled. It was just,
it wasn't perfect.
yeah, it wasn't perfect. I wasn't going to serve it. We tossed those. We put some effort into them. They looked great.
Their texture was good.
Yeah. It just had a
Tastes like you licked the inside of a deep freeze.
So how would you prevent something from getting?
don't
is
keep it
there,
in the deep freeze.
Yeah, and
so you
two,
just
Too
have
long.
a limited amount of time.
with that being in that like cryovac from the packer, I mean, there's a lot of moisture in there.
Yeah.
And I guess the water probably speeds that process up or whatever solution it's in. You know, if you was to pull it out, dry it, and vacuum seal it yourself, probably would do a little better. But, I mean, you got about 6 months on pork in a freezer. I want to be cooking it.
Yeah.
That was the problem with it. It was just it was over a year old, and
It might be 2 years.
I'm not a fan of keeping meat in the freezer that long, and I've never had good luck with it. I mean, 2 or 3 months, it's okay, but I'm the world's worst. We'll
I
dig
was going to
something
say
out
your
of the bottom.
freezer says different.
Oh, I know. We'll dig something out of the freezer. I've got some fish in there now. I know it's no good. I mean, I need to.
You feel bad, though.
I feel bad. Yeah,
Just keep them alive in the freezer.
yeah,
If y'all want to see most of those recipes, will be available on TikTok.
yeah. We got a lot of the content from. So when was that? Was that Jerk Belly Bites when I
Yep.
did those? Was that last February?
I'm pulling it up.
I mean, February.
March 5th, 2020.
Yeah. So that was right when quarantine started.
Yep.
So it was over, a year and 3 months. So that's too long.
You would have never known it. Like, when it come out, it smelled fine coming out of the cryovac.
Look fine. Yeah.
But-
Until you cook it and know.
And I'm not going to say, I mean, the majority of people probably wouldn't even notice. I was like, hey, I smelled it and I knew the smell. And I was like,
I kind of have a philosophy. If
done
it
it.
didn't,
And I mean, you can't serve that beside Wagyu short ribs and that prime rib.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be perfect.
yeah.
I ain't putting nothing out that ain't up to standards. Our standards,
Yep.
High quality.
So the reason I had you on, Mark, or we had you on, is to talk about Out the Smoke. We've been doing that for how long? Almost a year.
Has it
Has
been?
it been? No. It hasn't
No.
been that long, surely.
It'll be here in November.
Yeah.
think.
You're in November.
Yeah, we started
Okay.
in
I'm trying to
Right before
think.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Yep. What was the very first one we did? Not see you got it pulled up there.
I think if I remember.
The grill gun.
Oh,
The flamethrower.
I never did get me one of those. Do you have multiples?
No, I just got one. You ain't getting it.
That's why I probably don't
That
have
would have
it.
been a great Father's Day present.
I use it a good bit. I use it more in the winter.
Lighting fires
Fireplace?
fireplace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
I
the
mean, I
grill
always
blazer.
use an aim of flame and tumbleweeds anyway if I'm lighting charcoal. But I just think it's cool. I just want a flamethrower. I really want that one that Elon Musk made.
Not a flamethrower?
Not
Not a
yeah.
flamethrower. God, I want one of those
Heck
bad.
It's a legit flamethrower, though.
Yeah, it's like defense thing, It's like
not
you
for
got
defense.
zombies coming.
If I've got a few weeds coming up to the cracks around the pools, I'm getting out my not a
Mosquitoes get a little out of hand around the pool.
I'm going to get out my not a flamethrower. Cobwebs,
Maybe a
great for
spider.
burning wasp nests, not a flamethrower.
I could see that. That would work.
Try not to light the house on fire during the process.
Well, sometimes things happen.
Make a great TikTok. That's all I got to say.
So the last series that y'all did that's being released is the Pellet Grill series. How many Pellet Grill videos did y'all do?
We did
And why did y'all do Pellet Grill videos?
4.
Yeah, 4.
Well, we did a drum one.
Yeah.
Just kind of like a review of a drum smoker, what it is and all that. And we decided we're probably going to end up doing all I'd like to get a gravity fed next.
Yeah,
maybe.
definitely.
You ordered a slow and sear. We're going to check that out. But part of Out the Smoke, it's about having fun with me and Mark, gives us something to do besides recipes. But it also lets us review stuff that we think's cool and give our take on it to people. Before somebody wastes their money on it, they can watch something we say about it. I mean, not that we say buy it or not. We're just going to give you our honest opinion of it. So, and that's what we're treating Out the Smoke. It's that's why we named it that. It was about just not cooking recipes.
Yeah, and we've discussed this too. We don't know where it's going to lead. You know, I think they're getting better and better every time, and
Yeah.
I mean, have a good time doing it.
And we might do a recipe on there. Nothing says we can't. It's just like we did the crawfish.
No, there is something that says we can't. She's sitting right beside you.
We did the crawfish. The crawfish was kind of a recipe. It was our technique,
Yeah.
the boiling crawfish. But That's just it.
It was a how to boil crawfish video.
It's everything other than Mark making a Swine Life video for his channel and us making a recipe video for how to barbecue right. It's a way for us.
Well, y'all get questions all the time, and you don't want to spend your time, making videos on your other channel for that. And this is a good place for that kind of stuff to stay.
Answering those questions.
Yeah.
And I think the Pellet Grill series, I mean, we get a ton of questions.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you could ever answer all the Pellet Grill questions. And we just kind of want to take our take on, like, all right, we got a new pellet grill. This is what you get. This is what makes a pellet grill what it is. Kind of how we go in as far as, like, doing the initial cook and the burn in and how we can sear with it, and just kind of some of the key points that I think we
clean it.
Yeah, that we get asked the most. And pellet grills are still, I mean, they're taking the market by storm every day.
Oh, yeah. Imagine they're fixing to go up prices.
Yeah. I have a good feeling that's fitting.
Logistics is killing everybody now.
The first one was the pros and cons of a pellet grill. So,
is that one released already?
Yeah, it's live. What do you feel are the pros and cons?
Pros is that they're easy to use, and that you can cook all kinds of different stuff on them at different temps. What's your favorite pros?
I mean, definitely easy use. It's one of them things to where it's a true set it and forget it. If you got like a family function going on and you don't want to be over there manning the grill all day, you can throw a pork butt on, set it, come in, fix sides, hang out, swim in the pool, and it'll be done in a couple hours, So, I mean,
no fire management.
Yeah, no fire management. I mean, that's really it. I think a lot of things you can do produce a better product on. Like, to me, there's not many grills that'll cook turkey, chicken, or wings as good as a pellet grill will. I mean, yeah, you can get a little bit more smoke on a stick burner, but that convection air and it does great on chicken.
Strawberry strip teas,
Yeah.
cinnamon roll bite.
Dessert, any kind of dessert.
Yeah, we do desserts on them all the time. Side awesome. I threw corn on it Sunday.
Yeah.
Just grilled some corn.
Vegetables on pellet grill are awesome.
Cons, I would say,
Flavor.
yeah, you're not going to get as much smoke, but I mean, there are ways around that. I mean, it's crazy how every pellet grill runs a little bit different, no matter how close they are alike. And some pellet grills just like different pellets. Like our grill, Bear Mountain runs excellent in them, gets a good smoke flavor. Same thing with you, like some of your grills, like that Memphis grill does great on the Traeger pellets. So, I mean, you just kind of have to learn them. And that's the biggest thing with any pit. I will say, if you don't keep it clean, you think your old gas grill will give you a grease fire, pellet grill will put that one to shame.
That's a con, yeah. You got to clean them pretty often, too. I recommend cleaning them.
I've burned a few of them. I've set some fire in a couple of them. It'll be all right.
As long as you know to pull the power, kill the fan. Don't go putting the fire extinguisher on it.
Some days you have to.
Yeah, you have done that in class.
When there's 30 people watching you just sneak the fire extinguisher in there and
shoot it right
keep
up.
on cooking.
Let's make this toast.
Yeah.
Have you ever set one on fire making toast?
Yes. With 30 people watching.
Texas toast on a pellet grill.
It was toast. We were cooking
Yeah.
toast.
We cooked the chickens and I was like, we'll crank it up a little bit, and I never even dreamed that a couple of
It wasn't. We were borrowing a grill.
Yeah, it wasn't even ours. That's what made it so bad.
So we didn't know that it was filthy. Yeah.
I bumped the heat on up to 400 and I'm sitting there and it just happened to be one of those grills. I'm not going to mention the name. It's got a clear glass window and I start seeing flames roll up the window. So I just kind of calmly look at Jamie, go get the fire extinguisher out of the trailer. And he's like, what? And I'm like, the fire extinguisher. He's like, starts laughing. I was like, no, go get the fire extinguisher. He still don't take me serious.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jamie. And he looks down and there's fire coming out the drip hole. And he was like, oh, you're serious? I'm like, yes. And
Why
everybody's
didn't you
watching.
just kill the power?
I mean, it wouldn't do no good. You still got a fire. I
It'll
mean,
burn out.
oh, it was. It was finna burn off all the paint. And, oh, it was bad. Nobody knew. Well, one guy knew because he had his phone out and he was finna video. I said, nope, you put that down.
Put it down.
Not today.
Not today.
Mark doesn't go, oh my God, there's a fire. Mark goes, we got a little problem. Let's fix it.
Oh, the one class we done, we were cooking steaks. Mine started getting really hot
Yes.
because we cooked, 20 pounds of wings on it. I just look at Brian. I'm like, Brian, show him how you're doing it on that one. Let me put this one out.
And nobody knew.
Nobody knew. And those are some excellent steaks.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. That was flame
Yeah.
grilled.
That was like Capital Grill right there. They come out hot.
You can't duplicate that on
Nope.
a pellet grill. You need a grease system. If you got your good grease system to add it to it and just start the fire up, burn across it.
It's fun, though. I love it.
No, I mean that's the big thing about cooking on pellet grills. You got to make sure you clean them, especially if you're going to go from low and slow. If you've rendered something on a long cook and then crank it up and cook burgers or try to grill steaks or something, if you don't have it clean,
and they're not that bad. I mean, if you stay on top of it, like every half dozen cooks, just give it a little maintenance, and it's not bad to stay on top of. And like the ash is not bad. There's really, if everything's working like it should and you don't have something that are out of place, no grease gets in the bottom of them whatsoever. So, I mean, you just pull the drip pan out, vacuum it out, put it back together. And
I mean, that's it. People just let it overflow.
Yeah.
Let it sit in there.
The next video, I don't know if it's the next one coming out or it's soon, is how to clean a pellet grill, right?
Mm-hmm.
So y'all did, is it worth it? How to clean one.
That was just Malcolm needed his grill clean, and he could watch me do it.
I hadn't cooked the first thing on that grill. I just happened to own the shop that grill's at, that people cook on. But yeah, it did need cleaning.
Yeah, it was ready.
It wasn't bad.
No.
We vacuumed it out. The interesting thing was a lot of people don't know how to get all the pellets out of your hopper if you want to change pellets, or that you need to
get the dust
vacuum
out.
that dust out of them. So we have here at the shop just a little cheap shop vac that's only for pellet grills. You can get them for $20 a lot of times.
Not much at all.
Yeah. And then with the one we did one of the Traeger ones. It actually has a pellet dump little panel on the back. But if you don't, you can scoop them out really easy with a cup
you
or
can,
something.
If you have them cheap like vacuums like that, if you clean the vacuum, like dump it out, you can suck the pellets up and then just pour them right back in the bucket. Like it doesn't hurt them whatsoever.
Yeah, because it's not like you're vacuuming.
Yeah, you're not.
Debris
You just. I mean, it's just dust.
Yeah.
So if you get them all out, then kind of sift them or whatever, clean them up a little bit, that'd be fine.
But we showed how you clean the hopper out. We showed how to vacuum out the complete bottom, disassembling them, how to use the grill cleaner and clean them. We cleaned the grates weren't bad. We just kind of hit them with some aluminum foil, scraped them off, and cleaned up the outside. Just a basic clean job. And that's something that you can do every other cook or something like that to keep you from having disasters.
The hopper, I mean, you go through 4 or 5 bags of pellets. I would do it.
You don't have to do that very often.
I might do
twice
it
a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely want to do it before, like if you've not been using it, it's been setting up all winter, go ahead and do it then. Get it ready for, grilling season. And then halfway through grilling season, go ahead and do it again. Or if you want to before you put it up, it just makes it easier. But you never know if something's going to get in there and build a nest or whatever if it's been sitting.
So I recently took my grill pretty much all the way apart. I've never done it, and I've had that grill for 5 years now, I guess, close to it. So I was like, I'm going to clean it up good. So I pulled the hopper off. And I don't recommend, like, if you're not mechanically inclined, don't go tearing your pellet grill apart. Just clean it and you'll be good. But I was amazed of how clean the auger was. Like, because, I mean, all it does is feed pellets. I was like, it's going to be built up, or something. And it looked like chrome. I mean, it was polished, shine. And I guess just over the years, it's just it turning slow. And it really wasn't that dirty, I mean, the hopper dusted it out, but as far as the mechanical portion, it'll still look brand new.
You had never had a burn back on that one.
No, I try not to.
What other pellet grill videos did y'all do? Did y'all do one how to get it going when you first started? Mm-hmm. When you first get one?
Yeah, break in.
Yeah, the priming the auger and all that.
Break in. And then we did one on how to you set it up for high heat grilling, like if you want to grill a steak. Showed using grill grates, which is really the key to high heat grilling on a pellet grill.
That's something that I still get questions. So my first video ever on YouTube was grilling a steak on a pellet grill. It's a horrible video. I want to remake it just because, I mean, it's still one. Yeah, I mean, it's still our best video we've ever done, but it's horrible. But I mean, that's still a question we get is, how the grill grates get hotter than your air temperature. And I've tried.
Don't get that.
Yeah, I've tried to explain it 1,000 times, but it's like it just don't click. Because I mean, really, if you're looking at it's 400 degrees, those should be 400 degrees. Yeah, that's correct in your oven. But you got to understand those grill grates are technically closer to the fire. So if you're standing closer to the fire, you're going to be hotter than who's standing further from the fire. So
the same thing with your oven. You think about it, that bottom shelf is right by that element.
The closer you get to the element, as hotter it is,
Yeah. Just because you got it set on 350 don't mean that bottom rack right there on the element's 350.
That video is knocking on 1 million.
We're going to get there. It's horrible.
Which one was it? Was it
I was so dry.
Straight up ribeye?
Yeah. We done the grilled ribeye and mustard butter.
Yeah. I did a mustard butter on my recipe this week.
It works.
The Bayou butter, I called it. I used a stone ground mustard with a stick of melted butter, or just kind of room softened butter, and then a little king crawl and a little parsley. Man, I made a great butter.
You think that mustard would clash terribly with beef, but it doesn't. Like it,
No.
It just, almost goes away.
Yeah.
It almost adds like a freshness. I don't really know how to explain it, but it works.
I like it. I like it a lot.
So this week y'all filmed 4 brand new videos.
We had a blast this week.
These are the ones I'm excited about.
What was your favorite one? Like these aren't even edited yet, are they, Tyler? Like,
No.
We still got. So there'll be a minute before they release.
Late July.
Yeah, but so at the class we needed to get, or not the class, the comedy show. We needed to get some beer cold fast.
Yeah.
And Mark had done this before, and he said, "I can get it cold." So we iced down. We put all the beer in the cooler, put ice in it, and he started seasoning salt, putting salt.
And that was
all
just
over.
regular sea salt. That's all we had.
That wasn't a good ice cream rock salt. And then Tyler caught it and made a video of it. And then people started saying, they were like, "You dummy, why are you putting salt on the beer?"
guess
you
you
were
like
just saying a joke.
You like your drinks like you barbecue hot. And I'm like, God bless.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we're doing.
So, and Mark had done this before. Like, you did it with
Yeah, I mean, it's
cousin's husband, right?
Yeah.
It was like, I'm going to show this.
So-
he thought it. Go ahead and tell that story. That's a great one.
years ago, we had a little get together at my house, and I had my little Yeti 30-quart cooler we kept on the back porch. And my cousin husband, I love him to death, but he will argue with you just to argue. So he come in with like another branded cooler that looked just like a Yeti, and he's like, "It ain't no difference. It's the same thing. I paid $100 less than you, And I'm like, okay, whatever. So later in the night, I got to messing with him. I was like, I guarantee you that them drinks are colder in that Yeti than your cooler. No, they ain't. Well, I snuck over and put a lot of salt in my cooler. And I was like, here, I'll get a thermometer. So I'll go over and I'll temp his cooler, and it hits 32 degrees exactly. And I walk over to mine, and it hits like 10. And I was like, this cooler will make ice if you want it to. And he got so mad. He was like, there ain't no way. And I'm like, I'm just telling you, I mean, you shouldn't have cheaped out on that cooler. You should have bought a good one,
The Yeti. They're
He
missing out
got
on
so
something.
mad. He was furious.
Does he know?
No, I never told him any different. We were all dying.
He probably thought you were tricking him with the thermometer.
Yeah, Mikey was like, you shouldn't do that. He's like, he's finna go buy a ton of coolers just to try to prove you wrong.
He's never going to get it below 32. So that gave us the idea, since we were catching all kinds of flack on that TikTok video, that we're going to do Out the Smoke and show it. We bought the 2 cheapest coolers we could.
They were literally $2.99.
Styrofoam coolers. 2 6-pack Miller High Life. Iced them the same way. Mark put the ice cream salt on layered. I think that helped too.
Yeah, I did.
So you did ice,
Beer,
salt.
ice, salt, another layer of ice, salt on top. Put the lids on, let them hang out 10, 15 minutes. And when you open them up, they look the same. Like styrofoam, it's
Like it didn't melt the ice
yeah,
like I thought it
melt the-
would.
It didn't melt the ice. If it's hot enough beer, like that beer was come from the beer cooler.
Mm-hmm.
If it was hot beer sitting outside, it probably would have melted it more. But we stuck the thermometers in first and control. No, we did yours first.
No, you was like something wrong with that thermometer.
Yeah, so we just had the thermopop. We stuck it down in there. It goes, it's room temp, 70-something degrees, 30, 36, 32. I say, it's probably ain't going over 28, 20, 15. I was like, there's no way this thermometer is broken. It gets all the way down to 1 degrees, and I think it hit 0.
It
one
did
time.
hit 0 one time.
And I was like, that's not even possible. Like, to me, I was
In
like,
a cheap
there's no
styrofoam
way
cooler.
that happened. And I said, take it out, let it warm up. So we took the thermometer out, let it sit there in a minute, immediately goes back up. We stuck it over in my cooler, the control cooler, 32 degrees, low as it would go. And I said, what are these beers going to be like?
I was scared to open. I was like, finna
Yeah.
blow this
So
glass bottle.
Mark was thinking we were going to bust the beer bottles doing that. So they're ice cold. We take them out. I open mine, delicious, 32-degree cold Miller High Life, champagne and beer. Mark gets his and opens it, and it don't do anything right away.
When you don't let oxygen like in that sealed up bottle, it's not going to freeze hardly unless you just leave it in there for hours.
Yeah.
But as soon as you disturb it or pop that top and it gets oxygen, it's finna start freezing. But it didn't.
So we pop the top first.
Yeah.
And the top of the bottle just starts getting frosty because it's so cold. I wish we'd had the thermogun to scan the bottles. We should
See what it was.
That. I'm going to do that test again. But so we we stuck the thermometers in the beer, and it was cold too.
Yeah, it was like 10.
Yeah, it was like 10 and
Inside
the
the
liquid
liquid,
was.
yeah.
The liquid
Ours
was 10.
Mine was 36. I don't even think it went to 32. But we cheersed each other, and then you can see this reaction happen after we disturbed it. It just started freezing up from the bottom of that bottle. Frost started growing, and it frosted. I mean,
There was a whole slushy.
it turned, yeah. But it was one of the best. Like later that day, we were outside filming. It was hot. We got one of those out, and if you opened it and drank it real fast, oh man, it was so.
It was cold. It was
but
so
you
cold.
had to go because once you disturbed it, it was fixing to icy over on you.
It definitely works.
It
no
definitely
doubt
works. If you don't,
I mean,
if
you
you don't
use it in
believe
ice
it, you don't
cream.
try it. I know that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I said. That's what I got to thinking. I was like, well, my papa always put this salt in his ice cream maker when he's
Heck yeah.
making ice cream, so it's doing it to get it colder.
that was a good
Ice
one.
cream salt.
My favorite was probably trying all the wing sauces.
So the other one you did,
Yeah, ooh, that was fun. Too.
you fried some wings.
We got a new fryer at the office because we didn't have a fryer, and
We had to try it.
we've been selling Bayou Classic stuff in the shop, so they had a fryer. We said, bring it in, we'll try it. And we did a little review on the fryer, and then we fried wings, and then Mark got the idea of, let's see how hot stuff Malcolm can eat.
Payback for making me clean that pellet grill. So I went to our local store, Kroger, and just went down the hot sauce aisle and tried to find the hottest or something that I thought would be good. And because, I mean, a lot of
That you
times,
pick up.
yeah, like a lot of your local chain stores don't have those crazy hot sauces, but they had a few. So, like, if it had triple X on it or all these flames, I was like, yep, we're getting that one. Let's get that one. So we got, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And, of course, we had to have the control, which was y'all's Killer Hogs hot sauce.
Which is a mild.
Yeah, great
Yeah.
wing sauce.
Yeah.
Tried it first, and I mean, it's your standard. It's a good wing. Moved up to, what was the next one? The Piri Piri?
Yeah, double X peri peri. No, Texas Pete hot.
Texas Pete Extra Hot.
Yeah, extra hot.
And I don't know if it was just coming from the Killer Hogs, going to that. I thought it was the hottest. Now, I may be wrong, but I thought it was. And then we done the Piri Piri, and we started stepping the heat up then. And it wasn't just like burn you down. I enjoyed that one.
It was a good flavorful sauce.
What, the peri peri?
It was really good. It was kind of thick, had like chunks of peppers in it.
It's not really like a hot sauce like you think. It's more, it could be used as a marinade or it could be used as a condiment, like a hot sauce, but really I think it shines more like a marinade or something. It'd be really good on an Asian dish.
Yeah, it would. And then we stepped up to a ghost pepper wing sauce, which was excellent.
It was like a traditional hot wing sauce. And man, that was my favorite tasting wise.
Yeah, but it was hot.
Yeah, it was hot.
But too, like we were taking a bite, eating a wing, talk about it, go the next, eat a wing. So like we were building heat the whole time.
Yeah.
Like if you just went out there and ate one of them, it wouldn't burn you down.
It would be. Yeah.
So we made it all the way. Then it was what was the Jamaican one?
Oh, it was Scotch bonnet pepper sauce. Scotch
See,
bonnet hot sauce.
that was my least favorite.
Really? See,
I didn't like the
Because of the
sweet.
flavor. Oh.
it reminded me of the jerk sauce. When you go to the jerk shack and we go to Jamaica and they said you want the hot jerk sauce, that's what it was. And I think it's the same brand, Walker's Wood. That's a Jamaican brand. Pretty sure that's what they're serving there.
So we ran through all those, and by the end we're both red in the face, tears in the eyes. We're sweating a little bit, and Malcolm thinks it's over. I reach in my back pocket, and I had the Carolina Reaper, 2.5 million Scoville, little old bottle of sauce. I said, we're trying this next.
Have you tried this before?
I had.
He bought like this kit. It was like level pyramid of
It was
hot
like a hot
sauces.
sauce game,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and this was the hottest one they had. So then Malcolm, not to be outdone, decides we're just going to put all the sauces on one wing
And top it with that one.
and then top it with that one. And that really was not a
was
bad
not
wing.
bad.
It was pretty
not
good.
bad. I was like, I could eat that.
It was hot
Had a
though.
lot of flavor. Oh yeah, I was hurting. I was sweating. Water was pouring out my eyes.
Like there at one point, I remember I talked and like I just like seen like drops of like drool. I was like just slobbering. I was like, "It's good. It's good."
So Tyler ordered the.
I'm ready.
What are they? The hot ones.
Hot Ones season 15 wing sauces, ending with
They're coming.
the last dab Apollo.
They're
Goal
ready.
full of 17 million.
Are you gonna try it? I'm not trying that.
Absolutely.
You will.
I've done it once.
I'll do it with you.
Never thought I'd be back here again, but here we are.
So you done? What was it like trying a 17 million Scoville?
It hurts, man.
Really?
It hurts. It hurts for a solid, like it's a solid 30-minute hurt. Like I was telling you, like we were rinsing off the bowls from where we tossed the wings, and like all the babies in the house were crying because all the spices in the air. I felt so
horrible.
awful. Their faces were blood red. It was like nuts. It was crazy
So
in there.
did y'all toss the wing in that sauce, or just put a drop on one and try it?
No, we tossed them.
Oh,
Every single
gosh.
one. We tossed it
So
in the last
that's
dab.
big boy games right there. That's
It was
What's the point?
bragging rights.
all right. So
It hurts. It hurts real
what
bad.
I want to know
Let's
what
do it again.
creates like the hot high. Because like there is a point to where like it's like adrenaline rush, you know? Yeah,
kick in and you're.
Now, I don't know if I want to go that far, but I mean, I was pretty excited after we ate our little hot wings. I was ready, you know.
The Reaper jerky gets me like that for about 30 minutes. When you eat that whole pack of it, I mean, you're
wired
melted down. You're melted down, but then you're like, yes.
See, I think
do it again.
I think there it's like I think it's better. I think it's way like this is way worse. Like for 30 minutes, it's like the worst it's gonna be, but then it stays with you for like probably at least the rest of the night, and then it's gonna come back to haunt you for a few days later.
Holy smoke!
Like it's like
why would you know?
But I found really great hot sauces in the process of doing this. Like some of my favorites, like during trying.
That's kind of what I mean, I'm gonna buy that peri peri sauce, no doubt. Yeah, like that is a good
I'd
sauce.
use it in a recipe.
Yeah,
it's good sauce.
Are you talking chicken, beef, pork?
Peri peri chicken. I mean, that's a thing.
Yeah,
I think that would work. I think if you added like
more turkey, like Turkish or something like that, or Indian or something.
And I'd make like some really, really good like fried chicken thighs. Toss it.
Yeah.
Drunken noodles.
Did y'all see Rick Ross since wings have been such a shortage? Wings have been such a shortage that Wingstop they're offering thigh. They're doing thigh stop now.
Oh, really?
You can get a whole fried wing, get whole thighs tossed in any of the Wingstop sauces.
I could do that.
Heck yeah, they look good from what I saw on Facebook.
Peri peri, I think, is Peruvian.
Okay, that's South American then.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the wrong part of the globe.
I don't forget what pepper that is. It's like it's kind
of has a sweetness a little bit to it.
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of a sriracha, a chunky sriracha with more peppers.
It had what's the flavor? To me, it tasted like how Wicker's marinade has that flavor. I don't know what you call that.
I don't know. It has to be from some seasoning in it.
But it had like a little bit of flavor of that, which I really love. Yeah.
Well, look for those.
Oh, we did another one too. the old
grill?
Instant Grill.
Hey, don't hate on the Instant Grill. You can't be sleeping on it.
We're not going to talk about the Instant Grill. We want that one just to come out.
Okay. I want you to see it.
It's a $15 grill that me and Mark cooked a ribeye on.
Made of cardboard.
Made of cardboard. Yeah. Is it reusable at all, or is it kind of a one-time?
One-time deal.
One done. If you light it.
Just imagine you a kid and you light like one of them little snake fireworks.
Tank or
when it goes out, it's just out.
Yeah. Does it come with the charcoal in it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what you want.
I don't know what that is.
It's oxalite, whatever that means.
All I know is you don't see anything happen, and all of a sudden it gets really hot.
Yeah, it starts ashing over.
Like 900 degrees hot.
How long did it take it to get?
About 8 minutes.
Yeah. And no, I was hot.
We're going to do a contest with that.
If you had a box full of that stuff, you could incinerate something.
And I went out, like, after we got done, I went out to go, like, check on it to see if it's ready to dispose of. There was nothing left.
Really?
Like,
on the pan?
I mean, the grill was there.
Oh, I was going to say, did the cardboard burn up?
Like, you seen the little charcoal rings, and you just touch them, they go poof. Like,
what about the bamboo? Was it still there?
Oh, yeah, that's the strongest bamboo on earth. It was still there. Like, you could build a flame retardant house out of that bamboo.
Yeah.
Why do you think China doesn't have wildfires? That's right there.
Maybe so.
So, Mark, what are your favorite recipes? Before we leave, I was going to talk about your channel and the recipes you've been doing on there.
Oh, yeah.
What's the favorite recipes you've done here lately? Because it's been a minute since you've been on.
Hang on, let me pull them all up so I can refresh my memory.
Mississippi Wagyu burger, beer brined hot wings, which is kind of like Malcom bomb wings.
So, the beer brined hot wings is the best wing I've ever cooked.
I was going to say, when he did those, Mark called me and said, man, you ain't going to believe this.
Like, it is.
I want to try those.
It hit all the flavors of a hot wing that I want.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the beer, like, people's like, I don't want to taste beer in my wing. It's not a beer flavor. It's almost it's just a richness. Like, it adds something to chicken. I don't know what, but it doesn't taste like beer. Of course, I think what really set those wings off was the lime zest at the end. Like, it's just a pop of pow, and it goes really good with the hot sauce.
So how'd you do them?
So took 2 tall boy Miller Lights, about 4 or 5 limes, and a whole bottle of hot sauce. Got all that mixed up. And I think I did a little hot rub in the brine too. Let it go overnight, pulled them out, kind of let them air dry, hit them with hot rub, and somewhat reverse seared a wing. Like, put it offset and let it come up slow. When it hit 200, I moved it over to the coals and, like, charred them up. They were so good.
What cooker did you use?
PK 360. But
I gotta try those.
That was
yes.
an excellent wing. Of course, we talked about the the mayonnaise and the ground beef for the Mississippi Wagyu. That's a good burger. I mean,
So Swine Life ribs. What are Swine Life ribs?
how I like eating them.
Your favorite style?
Similar to yours, just basically salt, pepper, butcher paper, a simple rib. We use a little grit just because it's salt, pepper, garlic, and then come back with like a heavy dose of pepper. And it's just a rib you can sit down and enjoy. You know, it's not over the top. It's just pork and
Eat the whole
spice.
rack.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you could.
What I want to try is these chicken fajita fries.
Dang, that picture looks good.
I know. What kind of fries?
It's too close to lunchtime.
So there was a Mexican restaurant in South Haven that you could order like chicken fajita nachos and they would give fries. And it's got cheese sauce on it. It's got everything I love, but you can just eat it with a fork, not have to deal with a chip. And it's all on some really good fries. So when Cinco de Mayo rolled around, I was like, I want to try to do something original, kind of put my twist on it. So we done that, done some cheap frozen French fries straight out of the freezer in the air fryer in the cast iron, and just topped it with everything we could. It's good.
Grilled chicken, grilled veggies, cheese. Did you use a cheese sauce or just like grated cheese?
We used a little bit of both. So we used the Mexican melting cheese that grades really good, and then we made we had just like regular white queso, pico, cilantro,
All the good stuff.
all the good stuff.
And what do you got coming out this week?
Should be doing. I can't. In my eyes, it's my dad's fried catfish recipe.
Oh, I hate it. Get to try that too.
It
You did that on
was
Father's Day, didn't you?
so. My dad, ever since I was a kid, he's always been known for his fried catfish. He used to talk on a CB radio to who knows who and where, but they would all go meet up in Arkansas, and he'd cook fish for everybody. And I remember I was a little bitty, and we'd go over there and cook fish every year. And he cooked this exact recipe every year. He actually cut this out of a newspaper clippings from like back in the 1980s. And my understanding, I may be completely wrong, you may have to correct me on this, but Memphis and May used to have a catfish category, like when it first started, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I wouldn't doubt it.
So with
That or the Cotton Carnival, one of those probably did have a catfish.
it was some type of huge contest, and this was supposedly the recipe that won it. It was in like a commercial appeal, and he cut it out and he put it in his recipe book, and he's used it ever since.
Now, they used to have a big one on Mud Islands. I went to it as a kid. That's where I caught the most catfish with a cane pole in my life. But it was a catfish cooking contest and everything.
And it could
Probably
be
back-
that. Yeah.
That was probably about 86, 87 probably. I mean, I was young. I was probably 12, Michael's age.
That would be a
11,
good
12.
contest to hold out here in the parking lot.
Catfish cooking.
I'm signing up.
Yes.
And the deal is with
Pride of
that,
the pond catfish for everybody. Everybody gets
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 pounds, and you got to turn in.
my wife
Turn in a box.
Emily would not eat fish till we got married. Like, she despised it. And she's used to eating some old blue cats from down the Delta. Like,
They don't know about
There's
it.
Yeah.
a big
They
difference.
don't know about
it is. And the deal is with this recipe is you can take a fish you catch out of the river that sometimes might be a little muddy and it's not as clean as like a pond raised, like farm raised catfish, and put it in that marinade, and you never know it.
Really?
I mean,
You can eat blue cat?
oh yeah, like it literally pulls all the strong flavor out. It still tastes like fish, but it pulls all that mud flavor
Does it
out.
have mustard
Yeah.
in it?
Creole mustard,
Yeah.
eggs, Creole mustard, lemon juice, hot sauce. Let it sit
Yeah.
for a couple hours, and you got to have yellow cornmeal. You can't be doing no
Half
flour or no
Yeah,
white
yeah.
meal. And
Yeah.
Do you season the cornmeal?
oh yeah, you have to watch the video. I'll give you the recipe.
Man, now you want catfish.
But no,
Fried catfish.
that video there, I hope I do it justice because that video has a lot of meaning. Like, that's a recipe my dad taught me.
Did you make a
And-
blue plate tartar sauce?
Actually, we did.
Good. Duke's or blue plate?
Emily made it, so it's
Oh.
probably Duke's.
Y'all are Duke's fan.
I'm trying to get a sponsorship, man. Gosh, what are you doing?
Hey, y'all can get blue plate. We'll take Duke's and we'll have all the mayo we want. I may even work on a mayonnaise.
I love this.
Yeah.
It's a plan.
It's all coming together.
So maybe that's the next Out the Smoke. We bring Shell on and we do a mayonnaise tasting.
No.
We've talked about it. She did order a bunch of these mayonnaise. We had them on here.
Yeah, they were awesome.
So good.
They're all blue plate products.
Yes, there was a cilantro lime. Was
You
it
tried,
cilantro
you tried that
lime?
one?
It was really good. I used it on tacos. I made Malcom tacos for Father's Day, and they were really
They were good. They were really good.
Would you tell me if they were bad?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, you would.
No doubt.
I
No
don't hold
doubt.
no punches when it comes to my food.
That's what we were talking about last
It
night.
sucks. I'm gonna let you know. You need to work on that, Shell.
So
That
I used-
guacamole, whatever you did, you didn't
It
work
did.
on that.
We
wasn't my fault.
We had dinner with TikTok Tyler last night at the local La Siesta, and we were discussing the wives cooking. And I don't even know how we got talking about it. Maybe it was like tofu or.
I was talking about my wife cooking vegan.
Oh.
And I was like, Emily's cooked some stuff. I'm just like, don't fix that again. She's like, you want this for lunch tomorrow? I'm like, nope. And Tyler's like, I just soak it up, I just try it anyway. And I'm like, can't do it.
Shell's got some mayonnaise fish I want you to try. Mayonnaise tilapia. God.
Was it good, Shell?
No.
Okay. It was bad then. It was real bad.
This is back when she was trying to impress me, too. She's I'm going to make you this delicious fish dish.
We were newlyweds.
Yeah. Didn't have much money at all.
Yeah.
Had some frozen tilapia. That's already a negative Ghost Rider.
It was like creative ways to cook tilapia. Mayonnaise. Let's try that one.
So, like I said, Emily would not eat fish. So we got married, and we try to eat somewhat healthy during the week because we blow it out of the water on the weekends. Yeah. So she's like, I want to cook some salmon. I'm like, okay, whatever, So she comes in and she done went to the store and bought this salmon. And I literally, when she backed the car in the garage, I knew there was fish in that car. And she brought it in. I'm like, we can't eat that. She's like, what? I was like, if you'll eat that fish, there's not a fish on this planet you will not eat.
Yeah.
So she gets old skillet out. She's going to pan sear it and have rice or risotto, and I forgot all it was. Like the dog was concerned. Like something is dying in this kitchen. And she put it on a plate. I said, I'm not eating it. She's like, you're not even going to try it? I'm like, no. Like this fish was good 3 weeks ago. It's not good now. She took a bite and barely made it to the sink before she could get it out of her mouth. And I was like, see, I told you. And she's like, is it supposed to taste like that? I'm like, no, it's not even supposed to smell like that. Like,
Is it supposed to taste like that?
Nope.
I will say when he first started, I would try to impress him, and I wanted him to say, "Oh yeah, baby, this is so good, but he wouldn't, and it would hurt my feelings. But now I'm a much better cook
because of that.
Because of it, yeah.
Just step your game up.
Now Emily smells fish before she leaves the store.
We ain't half-stepping casseroles here. This ain't, what do you think this is? Well, Mark, what do you got coming up, man?
Getting ready for Wiener Fest. I got to cook a bunch of wieners Saturday. I'm pretty excited about that.
You're taking the Swine Life train to Galax.
Yep.
We're Killer Hogging it, and y'all are Swine Life.
We're going to go up there and have a good time. Hopefully, I won't be one of them little fiddles or a banjo, either one.
There you go.
There's a bunch of other people want them too.
That's all right. We're going to go get one. Somebody's going to get one.
I'll have to stop by one at like the local convenience store, gift shop. I'm coming back with one of them.
They do have several music shops up there. Shell bought me a mandolin for my birthday one year up there.
We got that.
I learned to play it on the way home, too, a little bit.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Me and Brian's going to go see Outlaw 4th of July, go do a little practice cook.
Yeah, up in Indiana.
Mm-hmm. Got to go get my sushi fix up there in Indianapolis.
There you go.
But other than that, that's about it. I think after this weekend, we'll kind of calm down till Galax. Do a couple more recipes.
You're going to be on the road a lot, Indianapolis, and then Galax.
Good time.
Eat up July.
Yeah. Well, Mark, where can they find you?
Y'all can find us at Swine Life BBQ on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Nope, not Twitter, sorry. TikTok. And, of course, YouTube, but you know where to find us. Yeah, Out to Smoke, too.
If you'd like to connect with Malcolm, it's HowToBBQRight on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, everywhere.
Wikipedia, Reddit.
Wikipedia.
MySpace.
We don't have Wikipedia yet, Tyler. We need to work on that. How can we get a Wikipedia page? No, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us today. And if you're in the area, come see us at 496 Whitfield this Saturday from 11 to 2. Is that right, Shelley?
11 to 3. The hot dog eating contest is at 2. If you want to do the guessing game for the hot dogs, that's going to be 11 to 12. From 12 to 2, we'll be eating as many hot dogs as you can handle.
Tossing them and everything, right?
Come get your wiener fix.
Yeah.
And if you're not in town, you want to see what we're doing, I'm sure, Tyler, you're going to have a lot of that streaming on different platforms.
Absolutely.
Facebook, probably.
I'll probably live stream the competition for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
Shell will probably do that because you're going to be in it. So
I'll just do the live stream from my angle.
I'm going to wait and see the competition. I may sign up more than enough. See what the opponents look like.
We're going to need all hands on deck feeding these dogs to people. That's what... We got to come with trays.
Might have some side bets. How many can Tyler get?
All right. Well, without further ado, we gone. See y'all next time.